Are you an established small business owner or aspiring entrepreneur? Would you like professional advice to help your business grow and succeed? Well, look no further. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is the territory's #1 resource to move your business forward. Enjoy no-cost advising, low-cost training, and technical assistance from experts in both the public and private sectors. The VISBDC is nationally accredited and sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration. Visit us at our locations on St. Thomas, St. John, or St. Croix, and follow us on social media at VISBDC. For easy access to all our training and networking events, be sure to join our newsletter and download the VISBDC app. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center, here to help your business start, grow, and succeed.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Veterans Business Outreach Webinar Series for the USVI. This series is comprised of 12 sessions nationally recognized as the VBOC Boots to Business program and are scheduled for Tuesdays until this summer. Today's session, The Economics of Small Business Startup, will let participants know where the rubber meets the road and is ultimately a key source advantage in business. Allow me to introduce today's presenter, retired U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Juan Marrero. Juan, you can go ahead and begin to start sharing your screen. Juan joined the VBOC Region 2 team in April of 2019 as outreach specialist to provide business training, counseling, and mentoring to veteran entrepreneurs in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Juan is bilingual in English and Spanish and brings a unique skill set and familiarity to the population he serves in the region as they start or grow their own small business. Juan was an active duty service member for 22 years. He has an extensive training background skilled as a highly qualified professional in the manufacturing industry and experience providing ERP or enterprise resource planning in services such as software testing, production support, training, and solutions implementation. Juan completed a technical degree in computer and network repair AutoCAD from the Universal Technology College of Puerto Rico and studied chemistry in the Inter-American University of Puerto Rico. Just a friendly reminder to put your questions in the chat, and they will be addressed directly by Juan or later during the question and answer segment. A copy of this presentation is available upon email request to training@visbdc.org. We encourage you to take a few minutes after this training to fill out the survey that lets us know how we're doing. So without further ado, Juan, the floor is yours.
Okay, now, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Really appreciate the introduction and the opportunity that the SBDCs in Virgin Islands always gives VBOC the opportunity to do this knowledge transfer to our veterans over there in the Virgin Islands. And all to the old veterans in the Virgin Islands, I want to thank you for your service. I want to thank you for always being there for us, and now it's our time to be there for you. So that's what we're here this morning. This is the 4th webinar that we've been doing with the SBDC, and today we're going to be talking about the economic of small business. A lot of people think that it's all about how do I get financing, Juan? How do I get all this money? Where the money is coming from. But today we're gonna be talking about within your business, how to be smart and be able to work with the economics to make a better opportunity for you to be successful within your business. So we're gonna be talking about different models, the economic models. We're going to be talking about the business model and then what we're looking for you to be able in the right path to be successful as a business owner. So no further ado, let's start it. So we're going to be talking about the economics of business, small business startup. And the objective that we're looking for is to understand the foundation for the cost, price, volume relationship as it informs profit potential and sustainability for the planned venture. So these three elements right here, they're very important. Okay, it's your cost of the product, of the service that you're going to be providing within your business, the price that you're going to actually get to your product of a service, and how much, how many, the volume relationship between the first two, because that's how you're going to learn how to make money, period. Okay, and don't get me wrong, I understand that being a business owner, a small business owner, it's all about it's different factors involved over here, but money is a very high one. Okay, you could have passion, you can be motivated to do many things, but the main reason we're doing this is because we want to make money. Okay, so we need to get ourselves in the right position to be able to be successful in making money. All right, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Here's the agenda. We're going to be talking about the economic models, like I said before, the revenues, the volumes, margins, operating leverage, something that's so key about and we're going to be talking about which operation leverage should be better for you, and the implication for risk. As an entrepreneur, risk is like right here next to you, and it's something that you must take very important, not take it lightly, right? So implication for risk, something very important. So why this is important? We're talking about the business model first. We got two models that we're going to be touching today. The business model, we're talking about how the business creates and delivers value to the customer. So prior in the other webinars, we were talking about opportunities. We were talking about problems within the society that us business owners, we're trying to come up with a solution of those problems. Okay, so that's what they're talking about over here. You need to learn how to create value for your customer, because you create value, the customer is going to buy it, right? And then how to deliver that value to the customer. So that what business model is all about: create and deliver the value. We're not talking about the product. It's that solution that you bring into the customer. Okay, and then we have the economic model, and the economic model is all about how the business capture that value that we were talking about in the business model in the form of an economic return. So how do I take what I created in the business model and make money out of it? That's what the economic model is all about. So remember these two different models, because we're going to be touching them, basics in through the whole webinar. But understand the foundation here. The foundation here is how to create and deliver something that the client's going to buy from you. Okay, and then how can you capture that value to make money? Okay, because maybe something that's very, and I'm going to give you a good example. It's something that it may be very easy for you to make or to deliver. Maybe it's not very it's not very expensive for you, but the clients may give you whatever money for that solution or that product that you're going to sell. And that's what capture that value is all about in the economic model. Okay. Continue about why this is important. We talk about the benefit of understanding your economic model. So the economic model, like I said before, is how you capture that value. Okay. So it helps to build a sustainable competitive advantage. Okay. When you understand what you created and you know how to deliver it, and now you understand the value of that you're selling, or you're gonna bring to your customers, that's gonna help you to be competitive. Any competition that you have, if you have full knowledge, motivation, understand your product, understand the process and the industry, you're going to have that competitive advantage. Informs you from management decisions, understanding the models, the business, and especially the economic is gonna help you to make decisions in the management level, and also provide stability and consistency. Why? Because you know the process. You know the process, you know the product, you know the industry, and the most important thing, you know the customers and what they want. Okay. And right here, you're gonna learn what it says here in the very bottom. Are we making money or are we moving money? All right. Because I've seen a lot of businesses that they do move a lot of money. Okay, we're talking about millions of dollars in merchandise and everything that they do. But the question is, out of all that money that you're moving, how much you making? Okay, because that's the key. The key here is make money, not move money. Because a lot of moving money is not gonna make you money. So you need to understand how to make it instead of moving it. All right. So here's the 4 elements of economic business model. And we're talking about revenue drivers, margins, volumes, and the operating leverage. Let's take a little time and talk about all of them. Let's start with the revenue drivers. Okay, so what we talk about here is what is making money for you within your business. Okay, so how many does your company have to earn money? So we talk about what you're selling, how many products, how many services. How many services or products do I need so I can earn money? Okay, so I can start my business, get to the point that I break even. My business is running pretty much by itself. I'm not have to bring money from the outside to the business, because now when I break even, my business is doing it by itself. All right. And then the other question is, after you break even, how do I manage that? Why? Because that's when you start making money. All right. So when you break even, in that moment, you need to decide about the moving money and the making money. All right. And it's a lot of people that get into the moving money because it looks pretty good. But at the end, my account is pretty empty because I've been moving money, but I'm not making it. All right. So very important. One source or several? How many products do I need? Implication of risk. Okay. This is tough decisions that we had to make sometimes to make it to the next level. Is this competitive advantage or disadvantage? You're always going to have that competition, okay, within the industry. And the key right here is to take advantage of your knowledge, your training, everything that you have done to be able to go above your competition. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about sacrifices. And when I say sacrifices, it's like, so I've seen people say, okay, my competition is selling at this price. I'm going to go under so I have a competitive advantage. No, it's not. Okay, competitive advantage is about you providing a better product. Competitive advantage is about you knowing more about the industry and the customer, and you can manipulate all those elements to make this happen. Okay, let me give you an example. An example here is Starbucks. Starbucks is a monster of a business. Okay, and they manipulate pretty much every angle that you can imagine within the business model and the economic model. Like we spoke in the first slide in the beginning, the business model is about you know how to create and deliver value. And that's something that right now, if you think about Starbucks, they are the masters of creating and delivering value. Then if you go to the economic model, how do they take that product, that creation, and capture the value economic wise, money wise? And they are masters on that too. Because that coffee that you buy in Starbucks and you spend $3 for it, $4 for it, they probably spend point something cents on it. Okay. So they're making a killer per cup. So at the end, the 3 things that we were talking about in the very beginning, cost, price, and volume, they are the masters in how to attack the industry with those three elements right there. So that's something that we just starting right now. We creating a startup. We need to start to find a way to be the masters in those three elements: the cost, the price, and the volume. Okay, what do I need to make it happen? What do I need so my business is just not breaking even, not just moving money, but making money? Okay. Another example: you got two cars over here. You have a Porsche and you have a Nissan, right? Prices are a little different, but cars are cars, right? They're just cars. Four wheels, they take you from point A to point B. In this case, both are gasoline cars, pretty similar in a lot of things, but they're also very different in other things, okay? So Porsche, they're looking for a specific market. And when I say market, I'm talking about clients. And Versa, in a Nissan with the Versa is doing, believe it or not, the same thing, because it is a market for a cheaper car, right? I have friends, very close friends, that they care less about luxury cars. They care less about sports cars. They just need four wheels that take me from point A to point B. And the more economic they can be, the better for them. And they don't even think about Porsche, Mercedes, BMWs, or anything like that. And I understand that because it's a market for that. But then Porsche is all about a high level of experience when you buy a car. I don't know if anybody had a chance to drive a Porsche. It is a different experience. It's a different type of car. And people that like the sports and the luxury, not much the luxury, but the sports type of car, it is an experience. You know, I own a Mustang for a long time. I love Mustangs, you know, a 5.0, you know, V8, good muscle car. But when you drive a Porsche, it is a little different, okay? And also the price is very different. So it's different experiences. But then at the end of the day, who makes more money? Who is more successful? Okay. And a lot of people say one, but the Porsche, no doubt. I mean, they're selling car of, $90,000 and compared to the Versa, and I said, well, not really. Because right here, we talk about three things, right? Cost, price, and volume, right? And one thing that the winner here in volume will be is Nissan. Okay, you see a lot more Nissans out there, maybe not Versas, but a lot of Nissans out there compared to Porsches, right? So that's not saying that Porsche is losing either, because they're making money because they capture that value that we were talking in the economic model. They captured that very well, right? And those cars are very expensive. Actually, that price they put in there is kind of outdated. So just to let you know. So the important here is that you understand the economic model of your product, okay, to capture that value. So don't get don't get going around that I should go cheaper because I'm gonna sell more, or I should go higher because my product's so good. Create a balance. You need to find a balance, and how you do that? With knowledge transfer from a mentor. Get a mentor from the SBDCs over there in Virgin Islands, and talk to them and trying to find that balance in this economic model. So we were talking about revenue drivers, and that's what this is right here. So next, we're going to talk about margins. Margins, the difference between price and cost, that's the margin. So the further away is that difference, the more money you make, okay? So the questions right here is, what price do you charge for your product or service? That takes time, that takes research, and that takes decisions from you, okay? How much does it cost you to deliver that single unit of product or service? So depends on how much it costs you, then you can play around with that price, right? Does the difference between the price you charge and the cost of production provide you adequate cash? to cover fixed operating expenses and generate a profit. That last right there, the generation of a profit is very important, because if you stop what it says, to production provide adequate cash to cover fixed operating expenses, if you stop there, you're moving money. You need to get into the making money because you need to generate a profit. That's the end state. That's the end state of this slide, but it's also the end state of you becoming a business owner. You need to generate a profit. Okay, let me give you an example. You got Walmart and you got Nordstrom, two very successful chains over here. Okay, Walmart is all about volume. Walmart sells pretty much everything. Okay, is the physical store compared to Amazon, right? And Nordstrom is not too much into volume. And Nordstrom they don't worry about selling everything they can sell for people to go to their stores. Why? Because they do have a market I compare just like Porsche used to have. And they are targeting that market. That's the target market for Nordstrom. Upscale selling, upscale products and whatever they manufacture, whatever they bring to sell to the store, compared to Walmart. All right. But because the volume Walmart is selling, there's no doubt that Walmart is above Nordstrom when we talk about the economic model. All right. But nobody here is a loser. I mean, they're very two competitive chains, but they do understand the economic model. Right. After margins, let's talk about volume. And volume is very simple. Right? We talk about the numbers of units of product or service that you are selling or providing. Right? Because you can have an excellent product or you provide an excellent service. But if you do it like the service, if you do it just once a month and you're not making it for the so your business can run by itself and you start making some money, it's not good enough. If you have a product that if you sell like just 10 a month and it's not cutting it for you to run your business and make profit, it's not working. So you need to work in the product, in the volume, right? We talk about the price, we talk about the cost, and now you need to talk about the volume. How many do I need? It's generally meaningless unless you discuss it along with margin. Okay. Remember, you need to create that difference between price and cost. The margin, the bigger it is, the more money you make. High volume alone is meaningless unless you keep something from each sale, the margin. Okay. So we need to create a balance here in how to work with price, cost, and volume and be profitable. Okay. And I said we need to work on this because it's different from industry to industry, it's different from business to business, and it's different from owner to owner. And that's why you need to get unique, specific mentorship from somebody to help you out. Okay. I've seen people that try to do it by themselves. Hey, more power to you. But why? When you see people that done it before, they give you advice for free. Just take advantage of that. Okay. Here's another example. We got Starbucks and we have a kiosk. Okay, coffee place. And I'm not saying that the kiosk is gonna be able to take over Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks is a monster company, very well established, masters of the economic model and the business model. Okay. They do know how to sell, right? And this guy in the kiosk, he's just doing his thing, has his market, has his products. So it's, it needs to battle in the industry with giants like Starbucks. Okay. So he needs to understand what? The same thing we talked before, cost, price, volume. You need to know about the revenue drivers. How many products within my kiosk do I need? Normally they start with just coffee. There may be some pastries. maybe some hardware like cups and stuff, So need to understand the economic model when you get into open up your business and you had to deal with competition, like this case, Starbucks. The kiosk, like here in Puerto Rico, for example, they do have some advantages over Starbucks. So first of all, we don't have that many Starbucks here. Secondly, the quality of the coffee. I'm not the only one that you're gonna hear the Starbucks. The coffee is good, but it's not great. All right. So these people that opened this kiosk around here, they had to make sure that that quality, that taste of that coffee is superb. Because if I'm walking by, I see Starbucks, but I see a kiosk next to Starbucks, and I know that coffee tastes better, I'm gonna go to the kiosk. No, there's no doubt. All right. So we need to work in your economic model to be able to take advantage, of these target markets and to be able to be profitable. All right. So I'm gonna give you a few examples of how this guy in the kiosk can make life better. How can become profitable? So let's say I open my kiosk for the first time, and here I see my economic model. Okay, how much am I making here? So if you see right here, you have the sales, the variable cost, and fixed cost. These three things are key. We're gonna be talking about it in a little detail, right? So he sells his coffee at $2 per cup, $2. All right. He's selling 3,200 cups a month. So he's making 6,400. That sounds very good. Okay. But then we got to pay some things, right? So he needs to pay first is the variable cost. What is variable cost? We're talking about food cost, cups, hardware, everything that he needs, materials that he needs to make that coffee. Okay. If you notice, a cup of coffee in this kiosk costs 50 cents to make. Okay. And actually, I'm sorry, 65 cents. Because it's a combination of the food, the cup, and other supplies. So 65 cents. So that margin between the cup of coffee, right? How much it costs to make and how much you're selling it is pretty good. Pretty good. And he's selling 3,200. So that's why you got a $6,000 plus a month. All right. But now he has to pay for the food cost, the supplies. All right. And overall, after he pays everything, he has to pay 4,320. Okay. I'm sorry, 2,080 he has to pay. So now I got left what, 4,320, but then now I got what we call the fixed cost. And the fixed cost is my rent, my cars, my insurance, all these things that you must have to be able to run a business. And after he pays all those costs right there in the fixed cost, he ends up with zero. But this is not bad. Okay. I've seen businesses when they start, that yellow line right there is in the negatives. So at least what it means right here, it means that this business is breaking even. So if you start and you are right there, you are ahead of the game. But you don't have to worry about bringing money from the outside, from your savings account, from a loan that you got to take from the bank, or anything like that. No, you don't have to worry because it's zero. It's okay. So I'm making zero money, but my business is running by itself. So I'm happy and sad at the same time, right? So I have to make something happen. So what do? So I don't want to raise the price of my product yet. So let's try to sell more. Let's try to do some advertising, and get people to know what I do. All right. And trying to sell 4,000 instead of the 3,000 plus that I was selling before. So now I'm making a little more money selling, and I had to pay everything else like normal. But now I'm making 1,080 a month. Okay. But me, thinking about going through my mind and say, man, I had to get up every day at 3 o'clock in the morning, get the car ready, get this ready, get the coffee, everything ready. That's a lot of sacrifice for $1,000 a month. Okay. So what I'm trying to say right here is that I make some differences, right? I'm selling more right now, but I gotta come up with another plan so I can actually get more, so I can get more revenue, all right? So I don't have a choice, 25 more cents per cup, okay? But I'm selling more. So I get with my suppliers and say, hey guys, I'm buying a lot of supplies from you, and I'm still in the original price when we started. We need to come up with some agreement here, help me out so I can help you out. So they give me a little discount here in my supplies, in the food cost, cup, and all the supplies. A few cents here, a few cents there. And now if you look on the bottom, now I'm making 2,280. So that's how we need to negotiate with your supplier. That's how you have to negotiate with your client because you're raising the price. Okay. This last couple of years, I don't know if you noticed, everything that started in 2020 with COVID-19 and prices started climbing there because COVID-19 and all the how you call, we had to do all this, disinfect this and clean that, and had to raise our prices because that, and now the COVID-19 is pretty much not as big that it used to be. The price is still there. Nobody's bringing the prices down now because COVID-19 is manageable, right? No, and they keep going higher. So always remember that with your business, bringing the price up in a product, it's not a bad thing. It's just here the right moment to do it. You need to think about when to do it. Okay. So now we're making 2,280, and that's a lot better. Better than zero, better than $1,000. So you see, you just need to negotiate, and create that balance between your price, cost, and volume. So let's talk about variable cost. Okay, variable cost is a change in direct relations to your revenue, right? Like I said before, in the case of the kiosk, we're talking about coffee, the cups, the other supply like sugar, maybe spoons, all that stuff that you have to buy to be able to run your business. Okay. But we also talk about payroll taxes, cost per employee, mileage, okay, transportation, delivery. Okay. Variable doesn't mean that it's optional. You need to buy, you need to pay this cost. The thing is, you have a little flexibility to do it. And that flexibility is what I showed you before, that you were negotiating with your suppliers, trying to get a discount. So that variable cost, that's why it calls variable, because it can change in accordance of how you negotiate, right? Very important. It's not optional. They have to be paid, but you can work yourself around to make it variable, right? So now we got the real pain ones, the one that really hurt, the fix. This is something that's not negotiable. This is something that you cannot manipulate. This is something that has to be paid every month, okay? No matter what. If you don't pay this, something's going to happen. You're going to have to close your doors. And we don't want that, okay? We're talking about rent, brick and mortar locations, salaries, advertising, insurance. Okay, this is something that it has to be paid, right? We talk about, what do you think about utility bills, variable or fixed? That's pretty hard to actually put them somewhere. Virgin Islands, just like Puerto Rico, we have some crazy utility bills, especially electricity and water. It's something that changes from month to month. I've seen people getting a bill of $1,500 in electricity for this month, and next month it went to 2,000. It depends on the gas and many, many, many elements. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you put them. Okay, you can put in variable if you want, but it's something that it must be paid. Okay, the utility bills. I spoke many times about breaking even, and this is a little graphic that explains what I've been telling you. Okay, is the volume of sales revenue needed to cover all your costs over a given period of time. All right. So if you're not making money, but your business is running, you're breaking even. Your business running because it's taking care of itself, right? That's not the goal. The goal is to have that revenue, that profit, right? But at least we need to understand what break even is all about. Break even is a milestone. It's something that in the very beginning, when we started talking about opening a business, is something that we were going crazy trying to get to. And when you're there, that is a winning. Okay, that's a win. You accomplish something. There's a lot of new businesses that they don't get to this. Okay, they get stuck and they never make it to break even and they go bankrupt or whatever you want to call it. They got to close. And then they need to reinvent themselves. All right. So break even is a great thing. It's a milestone that you as a business owner should put in the very beginning of your creation process. And it's something that when you get there, it's time for celebrating. Don't spend a lot of money because you're not going to have it, but just celebrate that you get to break even, okay? We've seen this in the little graphic about the operating leverage. Operating leverage has so much to do with the variable cost and fixed costs. And it depends how you operate, okay? If you go in a higher fixed cost level, that means you're spending more, you have to make more, so you are operating in a high operating leverage. If you go in the variable cost model, you don't have to spend that much, so you don't have to make that much, but you make less, right? So you are operating in a low operating leverage, all right? Let me talk about some risk. If you operate in a higher fixed cost, higher operating leverage, it means you have greater risk. Why? Because you are spending more, all right? It makes more units of service each time. So you break even faster. Why? Because you're selling more, you're making more, all right? But it's a lot of pressure. Why? Because for you to produce a higher level in the very beginning is very stressful for business owners. Unless you get a lot of funding, unless you get like crazy investors that you have a lot of money to make this happen, you'll be okay. But I always recommend to go to the one in the bottom. Go to the lower fixed cost. Start small and start growing. Okay. Why? Because it's less risk. If we need to reinvent ourselves, we don't lose that much. We reinvent ourselves. If we had to make some radical changes, we make the radical changes. But when you're in the higher fixed cost, a big change could be a lot of money. A big change could be losing your business. So start in a lower fixed cost, low operating leverage. It takes less units of service or product each month to break even. All right. So start small. I know we got this vision to make it big. Okay. But we need to start small. You know, in the Army, when I was in the Army, we used to say you need to what? You need to crawl, then you walk, and then you run. Okay. A lot of people want to just start running and they get hurt and then they done. All right. So over here is the same principle. Start small as a business owner and then make yourself through the system, learn, gain some experience, and actually make it to a bigger business. All right. So here's 5 questions that we always ask about before you opening your doors. All right. We talk about 3 elements that we need to understand and balance is the cost, price, and volume. And we also talk about operating leverage, revenue. We talk about margins and volume. Okay. So how will I generate sales dollars revenue for my business? We talked about it before. How many products, how many services, how much is gonna be, how much is gonna cost me to make, how I can negotiate with my suppliers. All right. What are my total sales related to cost to do that? Right? How many items or how many units I have to sell to make this happen? All right. What are my fixed and operating costs to run my business for a given period of time? That's something that has to be identified right away. Okay. Even in the planning process, when you're trying to create your business plan, you know, you're writing all these things about your business, talk about how much I'm going to spend in fixed and operating cost. Where is that money coming from? Okay. How much sales revenue must I generate to cover all my costs so I begin to show a net profit? So we talk about beyond break even, right? And the last one, based on my research and analysis. So this is about the planning. When you're planning about your business, when you are you're doing all this analysis, all this research, you need to ask yourself, can I generate the needed sales dollars and manage to these expenses in my proposed business venture to actually have sustainable and a profitable business? Because that's the end state. That's the goal. The goal is to have a profitable business, okay? This business that's going to continue to make money for you, a business that's going to continue to grow, and a business that's going to continue to find solutions for people's problems, right? Because like we said in the past webinar, solution plus a problem plus solution equals opportunity. So as an entrepreneur, that's what you need to continue to look for those opportunities in a society for you to make money. Okay? So here's some takeaways to understand your economic model. We have the business model that we talked before. You know, and the business model is how you create and deliver the value of whatever you sell. But the economic model is about how you capture that value and make money, right? So those were those four elements. We spoke of them very specific: your revenue drivers, your margins, your volumes, and your operating leverage. Okay. All right. So this is pretty much what I got for you today. I really appreciate the time and the opportunity to do this knowledge transfer with our veterans. I'm in Puerto Rico, but I do serve also the Virgin Islands. Use your SBDCs. They're always there for you, and you get them right there for you every time. Close, nothing better than a face-to-face interaction when we talk about business creation. Okay. I'm VBOC. I'm from Region 2. We serve New York, New Jersey, Puerto Rico, and Virgin Islands. But I also pretty much what we do is the course Boost to Business. We're working, trying to get a Boost to Business back to Virgin Islands. I will let you know through the SBDCs if this is going to happen pretty much in the next couple months, but I will let you know. So one more time, thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you, SBDC Virgin Islands, for the chance to provide this to our veterans, and hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Okay, so while we wait for persons to place their questions in the chat, just let everyone know that the VI SBDC has so much more in store for you as VI small businesses. You can visit our website at www.visbdc.org, or you can download the VI SBDC app on your mobile device from the appropriate app store. You can like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google Business, and you can subscribe to the VI SBDC YouTube channel. Here's a preview of training events we have to come. We have on February 20th on St. Croix in person, New Year, New Businesses, SBA resources every small business should know, and that starts at 11 a.m. On St. Thomas in person, we have electronic payment processes for USVI small businesses. That's February 22nd in person. It starts at 10 a.m. On St. Croix in person, we have securing an SBA loan for your business, how to get approved. That's February 26th, and it starts at 11 a.m. We have VBOC back presenting on February 27th at 10 a.m. And that presentation is going to be financing your venture. And on February 29th, it's going to be a webinar. We have tax basics for small businesses by the IRB. Okay, so we did mention that a copy of this presentation can be emailed to attendees. So we'll be sure to get that to you. We ask you to take a few minutes after this training to fill out the survey that lets us know how we're doing So I don't see any additional questions. So on behalf of the entire VI SBDC network, one, thank you for collaborating with us on this event. And everyone in the audience, we wish you a productive day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.